Right. Welcome to the town hall. Nikki, I'll start with you.
Thanks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Town Hall. Appreciate you being here and appreciate all that you do. We will start with our Girl Scout promise. And I can't see who's there.
Looks like we copied over the slide.
Oh, that's all right. Well, we can still do it. Jody, can you pick somebody?
Yes, let's have, let's see. Carla, Carla, can you unmute and say the promise?
On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to be a sister to every Girl Scout.
All right.
Thank you so much. All right, so let me, we don't have a lot to share. Well, a lot to share in that we're going to really kind of recap annual meeting. So Jody, I think the next slides are, yes. So obviously because of the inclement weather that we had, which feels a little crazy to say since it was almost 70 degrees today, but the inclement weather that we had, we did move the annual meeting to virtual. And had a good meeting, really went through all of the stewardship reports. So we had our membership update and all of the information, fund development, sort of where everything landed for the year. You all got the annual report, which you would see all the finances. Those are audited numbers. Our audit got back in time. We ended with the surplus, which is really great. And after this, you're going to see the slides for the new board members who were elected. I did put that in there because that was really the only action that we took, that everyone voted in the slate. So I will share that with you. But we did have a breakout session. So one thing we heard was that the members, our delegates and members wanted to really feel like they were a part of something and did some work at the annual meeting. So we are looking at our strategic plan, obviously revamping, getting going on that again. And we wanted input from everyone that attends, and actually really want it from all of you. So here's the link. You can click that link or you can scan this QR code. And this will give you an opportunity to complete the form, which was our breakout session. So there were 4 areas, and we do this a lot on our staff, and I love it because it is what we say, a start, stop, or continue. So basically in each of these areas, so one of those, I'll give you an example, is girl recruitment and retention. What aren't we doing that we should start doing in girl recruitment? And we meaning the collective council, right? So it could be volunteers, it could be staff, it could be board, it could be all of us together as a council. It's the collectively. So what aren't we doing that we should start doing? What are we doing that we should stop doing? Or what is something that we're doing that's really good that we think we should continue? And there are 4 areas in there for you to fill out. None of the areas are required. So if you don't have something to add in that area, just click next and you'll go to the second or to the second, third, and fourth sections. But that is that. We're going to leave that open through Monday night. So everyone has time to complete that. And we may revive it again at other parts during the year as well. Okay, next slide, Jody. Great. So this is the slate. These are our officers that will be coming in. And y'all, this is when I know like my age is getting to me, right? I have to take it off to read because I need those glasses far away. So our Anna Muncie is going to be the new chair. First vice chair is Brittany Bostic. Paula Prince is second vice chair. Larry Weiss is going to remain on as treasurer, and Holly Drury is going to be our secretary. And then the next slide are directors for the 24-25 slate. So this is only 1 year so that we can even up our slate. Our bylaws say that 6 people, 6 directors need to turn over every year. And so this will even us up. So Rennie Bruno will serve a year. Helen Ruth Birch will serve a year. And Katrina is going to stay on as a director for a year. And then the next slide, our slate is our slate of directors for 24-26. MJ Carpenter, Nancy Copley, Karen Ford, Diane Higgs, Curtis Thompson, and Reagan Clark as our girl member from Giles. And I see that Jennifer's posting a lot of this in the chat. We're going to have the, she put the annual report there, and Jody put the link to the survey, and Jennifer also put the link to the bios for all of them.
Nikki, Beth have her hand raised. Do you still have a question?
I was getting ready to type it, but I'll tell it to you. Can we put that QR code in the Friday newsletter so that all of us have a,
I think it was in the one this past Friday.
okay, I might have missed that. Thank you.
Or the link was at least, but if not, we'll post it in there again. Yes. We'll post it in again. Thank you. It's going to be in this Friday's. Okay, good. Yep, it's already in the Girl Scout Connection. Perfect. Thank you. I knew we were planning it at some point, Beth, so it'll be this one. Thank you. So the next slide is our board development. So we have Charlene Day, Diane Higgs, and Virginia Newton, who are on board development. And so let me say, we are still in need of board development committee members. So if you have someone that you would like to nominate, please send it to that email there, or you can send it directly to Anna as the new board chair, and she'll make sure it gets to the board development committee. And that form's online on our governance page as well. And then the final slide on there should be our evaluation, yes, for the annual meeting. So if you attended the annual meeting, we would love for you to complete our evaluation form there. We shared it there, but we also are leaving that open a little bit longer and want to make sure that you have that link as well to send us all the information on the evaluation so we can make sure that our annual meetings continue to get better. Melissa, I believe that you're probably going to talk about the pass the hat in your slide, correct? Your section.
I did not have a slide for that.
Okay.
The amount remained unchanged from the actual annual meeting. It was $1,714 plus the $1,000 match.
So we raised $2,700. We did have the match again from our donor for the $1,000 pass the hat, which was really great. We always appreciate that. And of course, that was all done electronically. So thank you to everyone who donated there. And thank you to our anonymous match donor. Any questions about anything there? So as Jody's switching the slide, we'll talk about recognitions. Because of the weather, obviously, we had to change our recognition ceremony as well. So it is now going to be on Sunday, April 21st, which is going to be during Volunteer Appreciation Month. Really excited that's going to be. That if you registered, we're moving your registration over, but we already have the registration open again if you would like to attend the new date. So there's the link. We're going to share it in Girl Scout Connection. And then there is still time to nominate for these awards that are listed here. And you can click that link to download the nomination form. And again, all this is on our governance site, but we're trying to make it convenient so you can see it there. We're really excited to have this during Volunteer Appreciation Month too. It will be exciting to make sure that we are recognizing those deserving volunteers during that month. Well, let me say, before we switch to membership, thank you to all of you who came to annual meeting and for all that you've done and the support you've given. I really, really appreciate it. All right.
All right, just another recap of our community engagement managers. Emily couldn't be here tonight. She's actually at a recruitment event. But we have Elizabeth Kopp, and again, welcoming Mary Alice Malk to the council. And so she's excited. She's trying to hit the ground running and reach out to all of her volunteers and get connected with her service units. All right. And then, so here we are. If you were at the annual meeting, we gave a membership update through 2023. We added 2024 here so we can keep track of our progress. So we are, so everything from FY19 to FY23 is year end. And of course, MY24, we're in progress, right? So we have 2,190 girls, 1,435 adults, and then 986 lifetime members. Those that are have service unit access, they also can look up these numbers individually for their service units and kind of keep track of those things individually. So any questions? As you can see, we're starting to move in the right direction. I know the community engagement managers are working really hard, and of course we can't do it without your help. But one of the things, if you have not seen, We have our current free membership for new girl members. And there is a form that they fill out. We're doing things a little bit differently. We want to make sure that these new members are really having the opportunity for the community engagement managers to speak with them, to make sure that they're, have the opportunity to be placed in a troop or start a new troop if there needs, if there's not one available. So we feel like that's, going pretty well. But if you have someone that is wanting to join, now's the time. Anybody kindergarten through 12th grade that has, has girls of that age, please ask them to click on the information link and register for a free membership. And Jennifer posted in there in the chat as well. So we have this. We're looking for helpers with our Discover Girl Scout events, and right now we have a promo going on. So if you help, you get this cute little tote and a patch. So the girls get a patch and the leaders get a tote. So there is a limited to 2 adults and 5 girls per event, but we have plenty of events that need help. So please sign up. We also want to congratulate our winners, which Beth is one of our winners. We have our parade banner. We gave out 3 of those for those that submitted and participated in the Christmas parade kits. So Beth Rains from Rockburg, Diane Smith from Galex Carroll, and Shannon Wallace from Orange. So congratulations. For those that are signing up to help for our new events, your name will be put in a drawing for one of our collapsible folding wagons. So exciting stuff. So make sure you sign up to help. Also, just a reminder that we have the membership recruitment rally. So community engagement managers are also post their recruitment opportunities here, and service units can post their recruitment opportunities. This is how we grow. We all work together to have recruitment efforts going on in our service units. And this is where you can, reply to requests for help or put your dates on the calendar so we can help keep track of those. It's also, recruitment events are a great opportunity for older girls to earn their service to Girl Scouting Bar. So don't forget about that opportunity to share with your older girls. If you have any questions about recruitment, you can always reach out to info@ or directly to your community engagement manager. And lastly, one of the things that, that keeps popping up, and Nikki may want to weigh in this as well, but we just want to remind that, this is not a new policy, but we're still getting a lot of questions around it. So I just want to clarify, adult participants attending a Girl Scout program trip overnight should be a registered Girl Scout member and have a clear background check on file prior to their participation. That means if they're present or they're staying at troop meetings or they're going on field trips, overnights, campouts, even when they're not participating in maybe the actual activities like a badge activity or something like that, if they are staying and being present, they need to be registered and background checked for these activities.
Yeah, thanks, Jody. So we did talk about this at the annual meeting. It was a question that came up. And the other part of the question was, if someone is a guest who's coming in to just, talk about or give us, a presentation on a topic, do they have to be background checked and registered? And the answer is no, because they are a guest. If they're coming for one meeting to, you have someone coming from a bank who's going to give do a financial literacy presentation, because the leaders are going to stay. And those people are never going to be alone with the girls, and they are not considered a volunteer. They're considered a guest for that one meeting. But when they're going to, as Jody said, stay at a meeting, go on field trips, be a part of the troop on a regular basis in that role, they're considered a volunteer. And why do they have to be background checked and registered? Because to background check, they have to be registered. So let's start there. Through our council, that's how it all triggers together. And I will say that over the course of the last 3 years, we've seen an increase in criminal charges and that are on some of these background checks for parents, guardians, spouses, significant others. And should we find ourselves in a situation where something happens at a Girl Scout event and there is a parent or a chaperone in some way who has not been background checked and has something on their record, we would be incredibly liable. And I'm not even certain what would happen with Girl Scout insurance at that point. So this is all around safety. And we talked about this at the annual meeting. It is 100% all around safety for the girls, and safety for the locations. Also, it depends on, some of these spaces that you all have troop meetings in, also require part of that as a part of our agreement to rent the spaces. And the assumption is that we are Girl Scouts, we are background checking, and that the people there are appropriate and should be there. So again, this is all around safety. I think the biggest piece to this is not new. It has been here long before I ever came to this council. We just weren't enforcing it in the way that we are now. But because of the increase in the activity that we've seen, we have to enforce this on a stronger level. Thanks, Jody.
All right, turn it over to Sandy.
Sorry, I had to find my name to unmute myself. Okay, thank y'all for joining us tonight. We're glad to see all of you. We know you're busy as bees, especially you folks helping with the cookie program right now. So thank you for all your support. Let's look at the fall slide real quick. The total sales for the fall product program was $223,471. That's 79% of last year and 79% of the budget. We know we had some changes with product, some issues with losing a favorite product. Lots of different reasons contribute to the change in the numbers, but we still feel it's success. We know we had a lot of girls and volunteers and parents participating and supporting the girls, and we really appreciate that. The top seller was the Holiday 10, and next was the Peace Out 10, and then the dark chocolate caps. And so what's interesting about this is that those we actually went up on price. So our gross margin, I haven't finished that calculation, but our gross margin is going to actually be better relative to last year's gross margin because of those increases in price. So even though we went up and they're the highest selling items, they also rank number 1 and number 2. So that's great. The Hot Cajun Crunch, which was brought in to replace the salsa, finally rose. I think the last time we had a meeting, it was running pretty low, but it finally came up to 8th place, which is pretty good for a switch out of something that was as popular as the salsa mix. We had 813 girls actually selling in the program and 139 troops. So that's great. We do have some extra product left right now, everything but fruit slices. If anybody's interested, just send an email to product sale and I'll be glad to help you with that. And thank you all again for all of your support. We can't do it without all of you. Next slide, please. The cookie program has gotten off at a great start, considering a few of the challenges we've had between some digital cookie hiccups that still aren't completely resolved, but I'd say 98% are, as well as the weather has, I know, been really tough. We really appreciate everyone getting out there. The girls, it just amazes me that all of you can get out there, not only working the booths and all the work that goes behind that, but doing it in extreme cold and wind. And we really appreciate that because this is great for the numbers are great considering what the challenges have been for the first 2 booth weekends. Digital cookies 1% above last year. And that's great because digital cookie last year was up from the year before. So we love that the girls are embracing the digital aspect. It allows girls that may not be able to get out in public at the booths, etc., in person very much to participate, still earn the same badges, contribute to the true profit, as well as have fun and learn. So that's great. We love to see that, even if they're doing booze as well, but at least it's another alternative for girls that have challenges. The booth and in-person, online, all of that ends on March 18th. It's too early to tell if there'll be any extensions. We hope not. We know that y'all will have felt like by then you have done way more cookies selling than you really have the energy for it, although you keep going, and we love that. 178 troops are participating, and that's 94% of our registered troops. So that's awesome. We don't have girl stats yet because, as a lot of you know, sales don't get transferred to the girls usually until later in the sale. So you really can't tell until that's done how many girls are actually participating. I won't remind you again about what Nikki and Jody already went over about the parents and guardians membership, volunteer role, background check. The interim payment though, and I'm sorry I didn't put the dates here, I'll put them in the chat, is coming up. That did change from 30 to 50. That we will be sending out to the service unit people on the 8th of February, the information for the billing. And then of course, the service unit folks will get it to the troops by the 11th for the payment to be back to the service unit or the council by February 15th. So I will put that in the chat. So thank you all again. We really appreciate it. We hope no one's got frostbite in the last couple of weeks. I bet there's a lot of hot chocolate that's been being consumed, and that's great. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. Pass it on down, please, to the girls. We don't get to tell them directly often enough. Thank you all. Any questions? Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, hey everyone. Yeah, I'm here. Hi everyone. Jody, if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide. Our Skyline Winter Readers Club is still running. It's been going since December 1st and will end on February 16th. If you all haven't seen this program before, it's really awesome. And Molly and Katie worked hard on getting it launched. They also have the two different rockers that you could see there, the maroon and also the orange one. So as the program continues, the girls can continue to earn their little rockers. Coming up, we do have a Skyline Readers Club exclusive event. So within the next few weeks, we should be able to let everybody know what that is going to be. Junior Jam Take Two. Beth is on here, and she is the organizer for this one, along with Debbie Roadcap. The registration for this is going to open February 2024. This is for Junior Girl Scouts, and the dates are going to be May 17th through 19th. There are a little bit more details in the link that we provided within the PowerPoint. Summer camps right now, Alyssa is still working to get a lot of them up. Currently, we have dates for Sugar Hollow Day Camp and also Trefoil Academy. And those register. Trefoil Academy is now open, and Sugar Hollow will open up on February 5th. We also have a link to all of the camps if you all are looking for that. The upcoming program calendar. These are the ones that we have on our website that are already published and ready for registration. So Scout Night is coming up on February 10th. I know some of you all are on the call who submitted the survey to either present or kind of be on the ice level. We will be there doing the color guard as the opening ceremony, but also just participating in the stands and cheering on the team. Each ticket sale also $1. The rail yard dogs are going to be giving us $1 for each ticket sale back. So they've been really great in helping us with those efforts and making sure that all the girls are able to kind of have a role or a spotlight in the night. So hopefully the camera will come over a few times and everybody will get to see themselves up on the screen for Scout Night. February 22nd, we're doing the World Girl Guides and Girl Scouting World Thinking Day badge again. This one is going to be virtual with also a badge in a box. That registration is open and it closes, I believe next week on the 31st. Coding for Cadet Senior Ambassador. We're having this event at Ishamani. This is where the girls can come out and learn VIC coding, as well as playing with some of our robotics. This one's going to be on March 2nd, and the registration is open for this event. March 7th, the highest awards, question and answer for junior cadet, senior, and ambassador. And then on March 10th through 16th, we are also doing a Girl Scout Week badge in a box. On that Monday, we are going to have a sing-along virtual activity, as well as several activities that they could do throughout the week. I'm super excited to announce that the updated vendor lists are ready. So we have available the High Adventure and the Stables. The High Adventure one is a lot more easy to read through. I think it flows well. I've updated everything. That way the expired ones are appropriately on the expired tab. I've also been reaching out to several of the vendors who we've worked with in the past, and I'm slowly getting a lot of them back. Of course, during the pandemic, not only have the High Adventure vendors, but the Stables have also had a high turnover rate. A lot of the communications that we've had in the past, some of the owners are still the same owners, but they've gone through a lot of staffing losses. So it's been really difficult to get them to kind of commit to the full inspection process, as well as the insurance requirements. But we are working on it. I think that they're getting more employment back. Unfortunately, right now we have one stable on the approved vendor list, but in the next 2 weeks, I have another stable inspection coming up with Healing Strides, and we should be able to get them back on. She did tell me right now they are another vendor who's having staffing issues and are kind of relying on volunteers at the moment, but she's hoping by the spring and summer that they're going to have opportunities for the girls to come out. If you all would like vendors on the list for High Adventure or Stables, just send to info at, you can either put attention to me or you can put like requesting vendor approval, and I'll definitely be able to find it. Oh, also for Stables, if you all wanted to use state parks, that they are acceptable vendors for horseback riding. And I'm going to work on adding them on there just so it's a bit more clear, especially for new volunteers. That way they can click on it and see the full list with the state parks on there as well. So the form 2129 activity trip permission, it has some updates to it. So health exams are now only required for international activities and trips. Additional insurance is only going to be required for international trips to cover illnesses or to cover illnesses. All external trainings, we're also still asking that they are uploaded to GS Learn under the, I forget what the tab's called, external learning. Under the external learning tab, that just makes it really easy for whoever is approving the trip, and also just record keeping. If there's something that comes up and the first aiders need to be switched last minute, we're not kind of rushing to get their documentation and switch everything over. What is this one? Every adult participating needs a membership and a background check. So that's what Nikki had spoke on earlier. And some helpful tips have been added to the 2129 form. And so this has been totally updated. So hopefully that will help the trip and activity permission process be a bit more smooth for you all, with some more visible High Adventure Stables, working through the new safety activity checklist, as well as this form. Thank you all.
Hi, everybody. I have a few updates on property. Some of them may be duplicates if you're in the property rally. Ishimani, we did receive the all clear from the Virginia Department of Health regarding the water, so that's great news. And we've actually got the second round of tests, and they were also all okay. So that's exciting. That's been an uphill climb, it seems like. We are going to be moving into phase 2 construction at Ishimani. So gym reservations will be accepted from Virginia Skyline members March through June 2024. And then as we get more of a firm schedule moving forward, we'll update in another town hall. At Campsite, we have new windows coming to Gay Lodge. We have repairs scheduled for the program building, and that include deck doors and siding. And gutters will soon be installed at Troop House. And at Sugar Hollow, just a reminder, the trash service is still suspended. And actually, the dumpster has been removed, so please pack out your trash if you're at camp. We will have a new service in there come spring, and of course for summer camp. The gutters were installed at Multipurpose and Rocky Top. The installation of the new trees is scheduled for March 2024. Bobby met with Service Master this week to get an estimate on the cleanup and multipurpose that needs to be done prior to the electrical work. And then we do have that works that will be scheduled for Multipurpose, Patterson, and Rocky Top. And Multipurpose will remain closed through February and potentially into March. We'll update you as soon as we can. At this point, we are at the mercy of the contractor's schedule. Next, please. Fund development. Next slide. The biggest thing that we have going on right now is Tough Cookie. So here's all the race details and this year's swag. A link to the registration. Registration is open until March 13th. Shirts are guaranteed if you order by, let me take a quick look. I don't want to say the wrong date. I have to submit the shirt order on the 4th, so I think it's through March 3rd. It is listed in the on the registration page.
I believe I read March 3rd today too.
Okay,
Hey.
thank you.
And Melissa, while you're doing that, I just want to remind everyone about the property rally, the maintenance rally. Jennifer, if you will post that link in the chat again, sign up for that if you want to see the updates that's in our rally.
And that's all that I have.
Melissa, can I ask a question about Tough Cookie?
Yep.
The virtual people that are doing it do not get a box of cookies, but we're paying as much as the other people.
Because we're mailing it to you, we're paying postage.
And my question would be can we still have a runner bring it to us or meet us halfway or something? Because
Yes, I sent a message to Julie
okay. All right.
and told her that we can still coordinate a group distribution.
Okay.
Just to, so she has that information, but yes,
That works. Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right. I may have Katie jump in with me, but Katie and I are actually making improvements to the application for event approval. And so we just wanted to also walk through some helpful tips and information to make things clear when it comes to service unit and council events. Service unit programs. A service unit program event is a program event planned by volunteers that provide activities for girls beyond the scope of regular troop activities and may include one of the following. So it's usually service unit, well, they are service unit events are specific to the service unit, so it's not publicized widely. They're serving the troops in that specific county or service unit, and it includes at least 3 or more troops. They could also involve or open it up to individually registered girl members that are in their specific service unit. Pre-registration can be done through Valleyhood or another council-approved site or method. And it also should involve a budget and collecting funds, but also include the Girl Scout leadership experience, part of the national program pillars, and they may include a badge or a journey. And so when you get to service unit or council-wide program events, these are events that could be planned and carried out by staff or volunteers, and it provides activities that are beyond the regular troop and service unit activities, and it's opened up council-wide. So troops from all over the council can participate, and it potentially could be available or open to individually registered girls all over the council. And the pre-registration is through GS Events. It also includes, budgeting, collecting funds. It may have more additional complicated logistics. Obviously, it also includes the Girl Scout leadership experience, national program pillars, and maybe a journey or a badge. The key responsibilities of a event director, or we call a trip leader, someone that might be creating a service unit event or a council event that involves travel, would be the trip leader. That person must be present on site for the entirety of the event or the entirety of the trip. They do their best to ensure the event or travel experiences of all participants is a positive one. They oversee the health, safety, and well-being of every participant. They're responsible for developing and implementing an emergency action plan applicable to that event. And they are ensured to share that emergency action plan with all the participants and volunteers and girls, and everyone is there. You also would manage all of the unexpected issues, conflicts, emergencies, or crises that could pop up. The key thing that we like to remind everybody is that your event director or your trip leader may not be your first aider. You cannot hold both of those roles. We see a lot of paperwork that comes in and the event director has listed themselves as the first aider. So we obviously are going to send that back and request, because of an emergency, you do not want to be that same person. Program event training requirements. I'm not going to read all of these, but these are going to be posted in the form. So it's very clear, what is required. We came out, thanks to Rebecca Duncan and Donna Gwill, they created a GS 107 service unit event planning program, and it's for day only. So for those volunteers that are just wanting to get their feet with program event planning for their service unit, and they're only going to be doing day only events, that's a great training to start with. But if you're planning to do something that's more complicated, an overnight, or something like that, or a council-wide event, or it's going to involve some sort of travel, you need to take additional training. So 106, you potentially might need to take trips and overnights, outdoor ed, or international trips. So depending. If you plan to have an event where you're serving food that has to the general public, or usually it's to the general public, that must be kept hot or cold, you may need ServSafe training. The event director must contact their local health department for the specific training requirements. We do not mandate those, the health department does. So you need to speak with the ones within your area in order to determine what training is needed when it comes to preparing and serving food. One of the things that comes up very often is about outdoor ed and when you're having events. So we want to make it very clear, when you're having an event that involves camping, when troops are participating, they should be bringing an outdoor ed adult with them for that trip. There are times where if you have individuals or something, or you're having a service unit, again, you need to make sure that there are trained adults for every campfire circle, and there are at least one adult for every 2 portable stoves or grills that you're using, especially if you're doing outdoor cooking. So if you have more questions specifically about that, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll help clarify anything. But the expectation is that if you're providing a camporee or something like that, the troops should be should have their own outdoor ed person coming with them. So the girls have been prepared beforehand before they come to that event. And then the approval timelines, I don't think these are going to change too much, but we just want to make them clear. So 2 months prior to the event, especially if you have a repeated event date, if it's a first time event, you've never done this event before, we recommend 4 to 6 months. And then if it's a very large or overnight event, you need to, submit that 6 to 12 months, especially if there might be vendor approvals for one of those. And then if it's going to involve international travel, that needs to be in 12 to 24 months ahead of time. And of course, vendor approvals are based on the safety activity checkpoints that have been posted. And we have a 106 program event planning training coming up on February 4th, and registration doesn't close until February 1st. So if you haven't attempted event planning and would like to learn more about it, please register. We'll be happy to teach you everything that you need to know. Any questions? All right. Okay, I think I have this. So Rallyhood has made some updates. they've been working really hard to make progress and improve the parity issues between the mobile app and the website applications. The latest update to the mobile app was done actually just this week in January. So if you're using an iPhone or an Android, you want to delete that app and replace it with the new one, with the newest version. The latest updates included special events and payment purchase process improvements. That was made in December, and then the update in January involved login and password reset issues, so that update resolved those issues. If you have an issue with Rallyhood, you are free to submit to their support team at support@rallyhood.com. Make sure that you include the URL or the name of the specific rally with the issue, and give them as many specifics, but they will reach back out to you. We still meet with them on a monthly basis. We just met with them this week, and share any updates that we feel are needed, and give them feedback all the time. So if you want to share that with us, feel free to reach out to me. I'll pass that along. But if you're having support issues or tech issues, you feel free to reach out to them. They will respond and help you with those tech issues. Lastly, a whole bunch of new resources are available. So they made a new Rallyhood members user guide. They have a quick start guide for families and caregivers. There's one specifically for special events and setting up Stripe, and then also their privacy and security policy. All of these have been posted to the website. There's even a YouTube playlist, which all these tutorials have a link to these YouTube playlists in them. So, but they're also posted, all the YouTube tutorials have been linked to each of the rallies. So if you go to the link section of every rally, you should be able to find it there. So if you run into any issues and you're not sure what to do, you can link them there. But also there's the member guide, and it is on our website. So, but if you have new questions about Rallyhood, or you need a new rally created, feel free to reach out to us. We'll happy to create that for you. Always want to make sure that we help you create it within our ecosystem. So of Rallyhood, so that you are benefiting from all the things that Rallyhood has to offer. Instead of just setting up a free account and doing it on your own, you want to make sure you're linked to GSVSC so you get all the benefits. Any questions? All right. I think the last is now time for you to share. So we would love to hear from you. Anyone have something exciting and new they'd like to share, or any questions?
Well, if not, well, say thank you all for joining us. Our next town hall will be in March, right? Because February will be our service unit roundtable. So please make sure you hop on that. And we appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much. Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good night.